Welcome back to another exciting day of wiring and wire lacing, and a little recap of what I did. Nothing too exciting, but I was talking to George, and this is our avionics ground. This is more the high current ground, and it would be better to put that over there. So I did that when I made this bracket. Just in case we wanted to do this, I made the mounting holes identical so we can swap them. Then I brought the ground cables up and I did that. I did the power in cable for the VPX, and what else? I think finished some lacing over there. Put the plug on for the smoke pumps and starting to get the fuel lines ready. This is the wires for the left wing. This is for the ELT. George has to put a plug on it, so that's going to go to that. The comm antenna ends, I think I did those yesterday, so ready to go with those. And yeah, that's it. Sorry, not too exciting, but we will keep going until it's done. Good night. Got another foot of lacing done. And a little bit of cleaning up over here. George has got almost all of the pins into the engine monitor, right?
Yep.
Anything else exciting?
No, we just redid a couple of things. We did the inline resistors for the last couple of things for the engine monitor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That, and I think tomorrow we're gonna sort through these grounds, figure out which ones go on the high current and the low current, and yeah, work on that. I did make the little light for back here. That was kind of cool. It's got an LED strip and mounted it with an L bracket. I forgot to take video. I was kind of just moving along onto the back of this piece. And it's just a white light strip. Kind of gives a Cybertruck vibe if you look at it the right way. And I think we're going to do a little light under here too. So we have plenty of options for wiring. But another late night. Good night. Anyway, just a quick update. George was here today and finished all of this stuff over here and this stuff, and then we started sorting the harnesses for, as we call it, smart connector and dumb connector. Kind of just make sure no too high current stuff. This is mainly for the avionics, and that's mainly like heated seats and dumb stuff. So basically split it into 2 harnesses from each of these 3 locations, left side, right side, and center. You're gonna finagle that into there. That's tomorrow's project. I started playing with some different plugs. These little I forget what they're called now. These little plugs, somebody had recommended on one of the forums. So I tried that. I like them. They're very small, but the biggest they can handle is a 20 gauge wire. And because I have different color for the Molex plugs, just so there's no confusion, I'm gonna use the Molex plugs in the wing connections for now. If we have trouble with them, we can always change them, but a lot of people are using this. But for now, see ya. Good night. Here we are the next day, and I think I have a method to my madness. Like I said, we sorted all of the cables that are going here. There's a 36 pin connector, and we have 32 that go there. And this is the low current or avionics sensitive stuff. This is more the high current, heated seats, fuel pump, less sensitive stuff, dumb stuff, smart stuff. Okay, so I had kind of like 3 areas that ground wires came from, and we sorted them by the ones that go here and the ones that go there. So you can see I have the harness from this side that goes there, the harness from the center stack that goes there, and the harness from the left side that goes there. And I did the same with the, it's easier to see this way. So this is the harness from the left side, the pilot side, the harness from the right side and the harness from the center stack. We have a couple of splices in there. So I basically just tied them there, and unfortunately the shortest wire in the bunch made it the perfect length for what I want. A little bit of a service loop in it. Basically undo that here and then do the reverse thing on this side. Obviously here we have a lot of wires going into 7 and 10, so 24 wires. So there'll be a lot of doubling up on these 5 studs and multiple wires going into the ring terminals. But for now, I am going to put all of these pins onto here and figure out my technique. Ironically enough, I have all the fancy crimpers. Probably bought like 6 or 7 of them, but I keep going back to these thin ones, and I crimp the insulation part and the conductor part separately. I just feel I can get much more control over it. Here's one that I did, if you can see. So it just feels much nicer. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm awfully tired. We've been up late the last few nights, but I got this prepped. I'm at a good spot. If I do one more, I'm gonna do them all. So I'm gonna stop now, go to bed. Good night, I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, do you wanna hear a funny story? A few months ago, we had brunch at our house and we invited some friends and our neighbors. And our neighbor who lives right there next to the garage, well, in his house, was in here with his son and his family, and they're all oohing and over the plane, and oh my god, that's amazing. I mean, they kind of knew I was building it, but didn't realize to what extent, because I had done the wings in the basement for the last few years. But he was like, oh, that explains the bright lights in your garage, because I have these really bright lights that I put in here, and you get used to it, you don't realize it, how bright they are. And another few months go by, I don't think anything of it. I work every night and the light's on, and his son's bedroom is facing right there. And yesterday, my friend George was working here, and I actually walked back down the street from that side. So it's technically the first time probably ever that these lights were on, and I'm approaching the house from that side. So I didn't realize that that window there was like a movie set light onto the side of the entire side of his house was illuminated, and the son's bedroom's right there, and they were so nice about it. I feel bad now. So I put the cardboard in there, and that probably, you know, blocks out most of the light, but it was kind of funny. But here's Derek with the bright light garage, keeping the neighborhood awake. Anyway, now I'm going to bed. Good night. Yeah, moving right along here, and we were running dangerously low on the smaller connectors, so I ended up doubling up some of the 22 gauge into the blue connectors, and that actually gave a substantial grip on there, which is nice. So now that I have my technique down, I'll show you what I do. I don't know if, you know, I think this is the right way, but I'll just show you how I do it. So I like these strippers. These are pretty good. I take like 3/16 to 1/4 inch off. This is a 20 gauge wire. So clean that up like that. Then this is the smaller of the pins that we have. So if the other ones are blue, I would assume these are red. I don't know if that's by default. And I lay it in like this, so the insulation obviously is inside there, and the conductor part is in the top, and the stripped conductor exceeds the crimped area. Then I have these, again, these are probably like the cheapest crimpers I have out of all the ones I bought, but I actually like them the best because they're kind of thin this way. They're only maybe 1/8 or 3/16, and they have all the different sizes here. And for this one, I think the 1.6 millimeter, which is that one, works pretty well. So, and the reason I like the thinner one is because I get to do them separate. So the insulation and the conductor separate. The one that does both at a time at once is kind of hard. So I give it a moderate crimp. All right, I make sure that folds over nicely, it looks proper, no wires, strands exposed. And then I give it a substantial tug, make sure that it's in there tight. When it's tight, I go back with the same one. And I give it a double-handed crimp, okay? So now I know it's sure. For the insulation, I move up to the next one, which in this case is the 1.8 down here, which I just put a little dot on that side because that's probably my most common one. And I wrap that up around the insulation. It's very hard to see. I grab the pin from the other side just so I can help align it. And I give that a crimp to go around the insulation. Oops. And then same thing, you know, give it a nice tug. Looks like I probably bent that one a little bit too much, so just straighten the tail out so they're nice and straight. And there you have it. That's how Derek does the crimps. No instructions, just my way of doing it. Not that it matters in the least bit, but I was just wondering if they had labels on here, and they do, and they have A, B, C, D, E, F, there's no G for whatever reason, H, no I, J, K, L. Ironic. I'm sure there's a reason. All right, time to put them all in. That was very satisfying. Now, I'm gonna do the same thing with the ring terminals. So kind of did the same thing. I groomed the dome harness from the center, left side, right side, all together. And lots of wire ties, just kept wire tying it until they all lay smooth. Then I kind of lined it up so we have a similar, you know, service loop is over there. Then I took my bobbits, cut them all, and we got 24 wires and 5 pins to put them on, so I think I'm gonna do 3 on the back row and then 2 on the front row, and that should be sufficient. Maybe I'll do a couple to leave 1 extra. Actually, I think we need an extra because we're gonna put a fan up here, so that'll be 25. So work out this. And the thumb grounds, well, the high current grounds are done too. And what I did is I piggybacked them. So one is backwards on the bottom and then one on top. And you could actually fit another one if you needed to. And then I put the real high current ones underneath this one, the 16 gauge wires that we had. So that actually freed up 1 more here for future use. On average, I have about 3 wires into each 10 gauge crimp terminal. And then I put the heat shrink with the adhesive on the inside as a strain relief around it. I think the last 2 have 2 wires each, so that worked out great. Got, you know, a little strain relief on here, and yeah, that's the grounding. So while I'm in wire termination mode, I also did the wing wires, pitot heat, and earlier I had the shield coming into here as a ground, and then I realized that this is how you do it. Then I found my little magic box here with these pieces, and I also have these strain reliefs. I think I got it from Stein or something, not strain relief, but grounding solder lugs. But these are 22 gauge and I need a 20 gauge, but I did find some 20 gauge, so I just made my own. So I redid those, soldered those on, and now I'm working on the toga switch, and I'm gonna try, I use this on the fuel header tank sender switch, and I'm gonna use it on here too. Oh, look who's here! George! All right, now the real work starts. See ya! All right, a quick update of what happened last night. I mean, nothing happened, just lots of wiring, same old, and these plugs are really nice. They're called JWPF connector, and they're pretty useful if you need like something that has a locking, you know, mechanical locking, but the pins are quite small, so I wouldn't go much bigger than 22 gauge, maybe 20 if you're lucky. So I keep redoing this corner here with the Molex plugs, and now I went to a 6-pin plug because I didn't want any confusion with the outside air temperature, which is a 4-pin plug. And then now I just realized that I actually have these 2 pins from the landing light that I can put in there too, so that'll simplify that. So basically did that, ran wires for a little like cockpit light we're gonna put up here, and then realized that because we're gonna put a little light where the fuel tank is, that I forgot to run that wire. So kind of backtracking a little bit, but George made some big progress on this side. So this is going to be a major communication hub because our transponder audio panel's there. Start running the wires for the roll servo, and same thing on this side. We got to get some wires across there. I used that little plug that I was just talking about on our Toga switch here, so that's pretty nice. I started to do the coax cables behind the dash panel. So I got the GPS and the COM1 done, and kind of figuring out where the VHF antenna and the COM2 are gonna run. They're gonna just basically kind of sit on top with the pitot, separate from the electric wiring harnesses. And the plan today is to continue on that. I don't have enough wire to do my light wire, which is kind of a bummer because I would love to just get that done. Oh, we also, George did the ELT thing, I think 2 days ago, and then I just I don't know, I guess I'm a fanatic about the harnesses, so I keep redoing them and more wire ties, and oh look, I laced another foot too. Anyway, a lot of babbling, and I don't know, not much to show, but I might end the video here and get something posted, or if something exciting happens today, I'll include that, or we'll figure that out. But in case I do end it, thank you for watching. Happy building, happy wiring, and remember, this is just us doing it the way we think, not instructional, and use your own judgment. Disclaimer. Happy building. See ya.